Hey guys, I am so excited to finally get to sit down and film this video for you. I'm also excited because I have been putting pressure on myself to film this video by not wearing my lashes that I've normally been wearing. I've wanted to film a little how-to video with some tips and tricks that I've learned as I've been wearing these lashes. This has been highly requested, so let me tell you guys what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Blinkifly lashes. I've talked about these on my channel a few times. I've talked about them a ton on Instagram. I've only briefly mentioned them on here. These are what I've been wearing, the Blinkifly lashes. These are essentially do-it-yourself eyelash extensions. They last like lash extensions such as lasting up to a week. A lot of people get almost 2 weeks out of these. Sorry, I had an interruption. I have no idea what I was talking about exactly. But yeah, I've had a lot of people, even on myself, these lasting over a week. There's a lot of different factors that play into that, how, you know, if they last longer or shorter. I just want to show you guys how these work, and then I will link them below. And there's a ton of FAQs answered on, you know, their site and their Instagram and everything, so you can check them out. But these style that I'm going to be putting on today are the Darling. I ordered them. I was obsessed because they looked just like my lash extensions did, and they stayed. So I ended up reaching out to them asking if they had a coupon code I could get for you guys, and then it just took off, and I just, you know, talked to the owner, and I just think that they're amazing. And if you have worked with a lot of brands, you can always just tell the really good ones, and this is a really good one. All of their styles are $20. The glue that I highly recommend you purchase from them is $5. Don't use your typical lash glue that you might already have. It is not the same, I promise you. This glue is not latex free. By the way, I just want to throw that disclaimer out there. So if you need a latex free glue and what, you know, you're going to need a kind that will work just as good as this, just message them on Instagram. They have said that to my followers when I've been on Instagram live. They say if you need a latex free glue, just message them and they will tell you what to order. So I think that's amazing. So these are what the Darling look like up close. These are long and wispy, this is my ideal lash. I love a wispy lash that will show up and it's not too subtle. These are the ones I'm going to be wearing today. So showing you up close again, they come in 4 sections. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. And I always, on my eye for this style, I use 3 1/2. I cut the outside one in half, and then I always make sure to trim just a tiny bit the inner piece, the little clear part, just so I don't have any like poking or irritation, which that might just be out of habit from doing that with lash strips. Let me show you what to do. Now you can start on the outside or you can start on the inside, whatever you want to do. When I first did these, they said to start, you know, I watched all their videos on Instagram, which I highly recommend doing, but they said to start with the outside. So what I did is I just kind of looked at these next to one of my lashes that I had worn a strip that I had trimmed, and I just kind of held it up next to it to see how much lash my eyes could hold for, you know, the length, and I guesstimated that I would need to cut the last piece in half, and that was perfect. So you can do that. I've just found that starting with the inner piece is a little trickier, so maybe don't try that till you've had a little more experience. I'm going to take the outer corner piece, like I said. I also recommend keeping nearby a couple Q-tips, and I'll show you why just for in case purposes. Cut it into half, and I've got my tweezers. If you don't have slanted tweezers and you only have pointed tweezers, I highly recommend getting some slanted tweezers. Now these lashes, instead of going back here like you would normally do for lash strips, they're gonna go underneath. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. All right, so like I said, they're gonna go under your lash line, but not in your waterline. Your waterline is that like nude skin colored piece underneath your lashes. So they're gonna technically go right on your lashes, which my lashes look crazy right now. I still have a little lash glue on from the weekend, just ignore that. They're gonna go right here, okay? That means we're gonna put the glue on top of the lashes. You're gonna put on a little more glue than you would normally think. Here is where the glue sits. It's on top of the lash, not underneath. It's not on the line. It's just sitting right on top of it. And you can see how much I put on. That is the perfect amount of glue for the Darlings. Now, if you're doing the Queen lashes, which is the most glam style right now that they offer, you're gonna wanna do just a little bit more glue than this. So if you get the Queens, just keep that in mind. All right, so you just let this sit. Now, I highly recommend waiting longer than you think. If you can wait a minute, that's great. I love to sit down. Tip number one is to sit down and have something to put your elbows on to take the pressure off of your hands, and have a mirror or something close to you that you can look at. I just think that's such an important thing. I've tried to do this standing up in the bathroom. I've done it sitting down, and this is the best way to do it. So if you can do this, like maybe go into it with ease the first time you do it. Sit down, maybe at night where you're not rushed, because it might take you several minutes to do this just to give the glue time to dry, and you know, you don't have to rush it. So you want to be gentle. Keep in mind, these are very light, okay? So they're easy to fall off if you're being too rough with them at first. So I highly recommend when you're holding them with your tweezer, hold them as close as you can to the glue. This is about where I like to hold mine, about halfway in between the lashes and the glue. And once you get them to your lashes, like attached to the lashes, just walk away for like at least another minute before you go and try to make sure they're set. You'll follow along as I do it. This has been sitting on for about a minute. And if you're doing the queen lashes and you're putting extra glue, wait about 2 minutes before you put them on. All right, so I got the lash. I'm going to hold my lid like this, pull up like that, and look down, and you can see my eye, okay? And I'm looking into the mirror right here. And you're just going to press. Okay, so it's on. I'm not gonna touch it for another minute, okay? I don't care it does not matter how you think it looks. If it's, as long as it's where it's supposed to be, don't touch it, all right? I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna go ahead, while I'm letting that sit for a second, grab my next piece. I'm not trimming this one. It's just the next piece in line. Now be careful with the glue. If you need to bubble it up at the top first so that it doesn't come pouring out on your lashes, do that. I've been wearing these lashes now for I can't tell you how many months, and I still have the same glue, and I use this glue on lashes when I put them on Alexa, I put them on my sister, I put them on my mom. All right, so let me show you again. Here's the next piece. There's the amount of glue on it. You can take your tweezers, but if you're too nervous to do that, you can just use your Q-tip to lift them a little. I'm going to, and sorry if I'm shaking, I had coffee, and I'm also trying to hurry because I have a wedding I have to go do, and so I don't have very long, and I really wanted to do this because I really want to put these on. I'm gonna do that same thing, and I'm just gonna go right next to that other piece. I was looking up close to make sure. And once it's attached, like I said, let it be for a minute, because if you start messing with it too much, that's when it's gonna fall off, because they're so light. They're very, very light. Boom. And I've always said, once you get one, you're just gonna knock them out. So here is the difference. This eye is done. This eye is not. It makes such a difference. The first time I did it, I just couldn't believe it. I'm gonna look down for you. The fact that they're underneath your lash line, like when you're looking down and stuff, you don't ever see that lash band, you know, they just look amazing. They've been my favorite part of 2020, I think. I'm gonna breeze through this other eye. I just wanted to let you know also here that I have a 10% off code, Lauren10, save you some money. Don't forget to get your glue. But I also wanna mention, I get questions a lot like, what about your real lashes? Do they hurt your real lashes? If you remove them gently, if you don't rip them out of your eye, and I find if you keep them brushed with the spoolie too, it will help your lashes. My lashes have been terrible since I gave birth to Lorelai. They were something she took from me, as I joke. So just remove them gently with some makeup remover, and that will save your lashes. You can also use your lash boosters. If you're using like any kind of serum for lash growth, you can use those simultaneously to these, since that typically goes on top. Okay, I'm gonna breeze through this other eye.